Well, it's still morning at 10 TV, and this time I am coming to you from the Uganda Wildlife Conservation Education Center here in Entebbe, where we'll be speaking, of course, matters wildlife. As we continue to see the growing trend of Uganda's tourism, we know that protecting the environment and the habitats that are being kept outside this confinement also remains a key and pertinent issue. As we speak this morning, the patrons and the regional coordinators to the wildlife are meeting here at the center to discuss or find ways of how best they can, of course, protect the wildlife, but also adapt to the emerging challenges of the climate change that are continuing to exhibit a lot of conflict or a rift between wildlife and humans. But of course, this conversation will be quite intense, for many experts will be coming to share their knowledge on how these patrons and coordinators will go back to their communities and share best practices in protecting these habitats. Of course, we know a lot is being said, and tourism remains very key and pertinent in earning the country foreign exchange. But we want to also dive into the conversation on what really is going to happen. What is the best that these patrons and coordinators are going to take out of this conversation here? This morning, I am joined by the Chief Warden of the Uganda Wildlife Education and Conservation Center in Entebbe, who is going to paint for us a picture of what is really going to happen in this meeting that has been organized. And Mr. David Musingo, thank you so much for joining me on Morning at NTV.
Thank you so much, Ivan and NTV, for this opportunity. Today we are privileged that we are hosting the patrons and regional coordinators after a long time. They have traveled from all over this country to come, and I'm happy that we are hosting them today here.
Yes.
And this workshop is very important. It brings these patrons and the regional coordinators so that we can empower them with knowledge and skills, and then they will go back and influence young people. Because there are many environmental challenges. You have heard about climate change. We have the issues of waste management. We have the issues of human-wildlife conflict. We have the issues of problem animals, especially communities neighboring national parks. So these problems are real. And therefore, many young people, the teachers, are detached from reality, they're detached from environment, especially urban areas. So we have brought all of them here to see how they can support us to conserve wildlife, but also to inspire young people to love environment.
We know very well that, of course, you have planned for this over time, and we have seen a growing conflict between humans and wildlife, the wildlife encroaching on plantations, but also the humans going to the wild and killing some of these animals here. That's part of the docket you're going to be discussing. But if you can just give us a snap peek of what exactly how you want to address this, maybe in your discussion as you're going to hold it.
It's a big problem. Human-wildlife conflict is a big problem. Every week, every day, we are responding to rescuing these animals that are in communities because of this. But we are building capacity in terms of response, but also creating awareness in the community to live harmoniously. What is the problem is that people have encroached on the corridors. People have degraded these areas, and animals have limited space, have limited habitat. We want to create awareness so that people know that maybe ecotourism is the best way to go instead of destroying forests and then encroaching on the habitat. But we are going to digitalize so that you are able to report in time and we respond in time, because these things it's not easy to get in touch with people, especially up country like Karamoja and the rest. So we want to go digital so that we can respond immediately.
And we know that when the humans go and disturb the animals, when they encroach on their habitats, of course, the problem comes to you because you now have to rescue the animals that are maybe being endangered, and those to bring them here. But is this increasing or reducing according to your maybe recent statistics?
From our statistics, the device is increasing. I've told you that almost every day we are going to community to respond. But I'm also here not only speaking on behalf of UEC, but speaking on behalf of the UWA. The UWA has put different interventions in place. For example, they are putting, digging the trenches. They are putting hotlines, power around the national park so that these animals don't stray into the communities. They are doing all planting. They're encouraging people not to plant palatable crops around because those crops lure animals like elephants to come to the community to look for palatable crops. So also land use issue is very important here. How are we planning? What are you doing around the national parks? That's very important.
And my last question for you will be, you are now introducing the regional satellite zoos across. How do you think this partly will address the vice as well?
We are establishing the regional zoos because we have been getting overwhelming numbers at UEC here. We are now almost threatening 1 million every year. And many of these children, many of these schools come from very far, spend a lot of money, time element is a factor, is an issue. So we are establishing regional zoos. We have started with Zimbabwe, it's almost at 95%. We expect to open Zimbabwe Zoo either next month, October, and after that we are going to establish others in Barara, Chenjojo, and Oguru. We have got land. At each of these sites we have got 62 acres NFL land.
Well, for time reasons, I'll leave you here for now. But let me also speak to one of the coordinators who will also just highlight for us the magnitude of this problem in where they are living and how they would want to address this. And thank you much also for joining me on Morning at NTV. You'll tell us your name, but also the magnitude of this problem in the communities where you're living.
Thank you so much. I'm Samuel Orono. I'm from Deji Senior School and I'm coordinating Luero side. First of all, I would like to thank the Wildlife Clubs of Uganda with their partners for organizing this workshop here. Truth to be told, the increasing population and the need for service of education and so on has really caused a lot of encroachment on the natural environment. You'll find that many schools are encroaching on wetlands, are encroaching on forests and so on, and you'll find that eventually the wildlife, the animals that are supposed to be in their natural habitats are now displaced, and then they come and begin attacking or rather affecting the schools and so on. So this workshop here is very, very important for us as patrons because we are one of the stakeholders in imparting this knowledge and so on. If we are to sustain conservation and so on, then we need the information for the young people, and they are in schools. And that's why we are here, to get information and then go and share it.
Okay, let me also wind up the conversation with this lady who will tell us how they would want to address this and what you expect from this conference in as far as how you've come to attend. Good morning, and let's start with your name.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
I'm Mugabi Rebecca.
Yeah.
I teach at Tante Primary School.
Okay.
I'm the patron of wildlife.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. What do you expect from this conference in as far as how you've come to attend and how you think this will be important for you to go back, and then, of course, instill the knowledge into the young people?
I am expecting a lot because we have this is first of all. Let me thank the organizers of this workshop because this is the first one of the kind to be attended as wildlife teachers. So I'm grateful about that.
Yes.
Now, I'm expecting a lot because I am in an urban center and we have a lot we need to teach our environment, people in the environment, how to conserve the environment, how to use the waste materials. We have a lot, and indeed we are trying. We are getting use of those environment materials.
Yes.
We are putting them, making different items, but still we want to learn more about wildlife. That's why we are here.
Okay. For time reasons, you let me leave the conversation here, but I want to thank you so much for making time to speak to us.
You're welcome.
Well, it's still quite a busy morning, like I earlier said, when the conservationists have come here to fetch knowledge. Like I told you, the Wildlife Clubs of Uganda and the regional coordinators, the patrons, are here to fetch knowledge when they will go back and, of course, intensify on the efforts of conserving the environment. But also still want to remind you that, of course, OWA has organized open park days. That's, of course, 26th and 27th. So a Ugandan can walk to those parks there and get to see some of these wildlife. But, of course, it remains to be a busy morning, I earlier said. Also look forward to seeing what these people will be discussing in their conference. For time reasons, you allow me get the conversation back to the studios. A very good morning to you, our audience.